Hey, all right.
Wow, here we are again.
We are live again. So, I'm Ryan.
I'm Kai.
And this is Demos in the Dark live. This is our second one. Our first one was last week.
That's right.
With the guys from Phantom Planet. And we had some technical difficulties.
We did. Someone called it the Setzer tone on the Vox.
Yeah, there was some slap back on that puppy. So we have fixed that.
We did.
Fixed it, and we couldn't have picked a better time to fix it because tonight we have two gentlemen from Seüf Guitars here, and that'll be really good once we get into it. But I think first thing we have to do is the
So fancy.
The theme song. So here we go.
To make a loop of that segment where you're just petting the Les Paul.
Yeah.
I need that in my life.
Well, what's sad is I don't know if I'm gonna pet that Les Paul anymore.
That's okay.
All right. So, what do we have going on this week? Origin Effects got apparently blown out by Revival Electronics.
They've been kind of mean.
That happened yesterday.
Yep.
And today.
Yep.
And
Ryan told me about it right after I bought a slide rig. So.
Yeah. So Origin Effects seems to be having a tough week.
Yep.
But you know what? It'll pass. Just Origin guys, just go talk to Mike Fuller, and he'll tell you how you can get away with being racist and still sell pedals. I mean, so
the sky's the limit for you guys.
Sky's the limit for you, Origin. All you guys did was just tried to sue the pants off of a small.
Just bully a little guy. Shove him into a locker.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's not what we're here for.
Nope.
Tonight, so if you are a subscriber to this channel, you are used to the fact that almost every single video will have at least one Seüf guitar in it. And I have become a bit of a spokesperson for them. And I will get in a little bit. I'll get into the story of how I discovered Seüf Guitars. But it would also be really great to have them here to speak for themselves. We have Sean and Mark from Seüf Guitars here.
Bring them in.
Right? Meow. There we are.
Look at these beautiful
Hello, gentlemen.
fellas.
Hey.
How you guys doing tonight?
So good. So good.
How is Kansas City?
Hot.
Hot?
Yeah. We'll see like how many times tonight we can just say the same thing at the same time.
It's going to happen a lot.
Is that like a twin thing? Because we do that.
We'll do that too.
Because people
we finish each other's sentences. Oh my.
You guys, are you kidding me? That was crazy.
That's wild.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
How's Josh Scott doing? When was the last time you talked to Josh Scott?
Oh shit! It's been almost a year now.
What?
Yeah, I haven't talked to Josh. We're good. We're good friends. And actually, one of his repair tech, the pedal repair tech, McQuiston, fills in on drums for our band whenever we play live. Sometimes.
Your band. What's your band called?
Oh, it's called Double Drag.
Oh, cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. So talk to him pretty often. And we did the JHS trivia show with Josh. God, I guess it was almost a year ago. It was during quarantine when nobody could see anybody. So he was doing this cool Instagram live thing. It was like a rock and roll trivia, and we just aced the shit out of it. And then Paul, week, it was like answering the questions beforehand, just being like, totally fucking charismatic, and I was just like waiting for him to give me all the options, even though I knew all the fucking answers and all this stuff. But no, I haven't talked to Josh in a while. I need to catch up.
Yeah.
Well, he's here now. Let's bring him in.
Here he is. No. All the way from he flew all the way from where you are
To be with us.
here to surprise you.
Yeah.
So that's my Josh is an important part of the story of how I discovered Seüf Guitars.
Okay. Tell me everything.
A couple of years ago at NAMM, I'd been using Nash guitars for a while, and became dissatisfied with Nash guitars. And so when I went to NAMM, my idea was that I was going to find another handmade. Well, Nash is not handmade; they're prefab and then relics and marked up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to find another boutique F-style builder, and I tried everything. I mean, I went to Exotic, I went to Sir, I went to, I tried everything, and I tried some really great stuff, but nothing that had like super knocked my socks off. Or another situation where there was one that did knock my socks off, but then I met the guy who built it, and I was kind of like, you do not knock my socks off.
You put my socks on.
So then I am running over to the JHS booth. I don't know why, but I went over to the JHS booth, and
Josh is right here, man.
Yeah,
You don't have
sorry,
to say-
Josh. And I ran over to the. I think that year, like what they had released was like some like utility pedal, so it wasn't like there wasn't really anything to try.
Yeah.
But sitting at one of the kiosk things at one of their pedal boards, like I'm playing this guitar while I'm got the headphones on. I'm trying, and like at some point I'm like, man, this guitar is great. And then I looked at the headstock. I'm like, what the fuck is a Seüf?
Say you.
and I came back to Minneapolis and looked these guys up and connected up, and that was it. I wasn't, like you guys weren't even at NAMM. I wasn't looking for you, and yet somehow that was. And so we actually owe it all to Joshua Heath Scott.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Josh Heath Scott.
Sorry, he's having a tough time just over here.
Oh shit! All right, so but you guys have a really interesting story of how you kind of came to be, and I think that is a valuable story. I think it's a cool story. Because your guys' last name is not Scythe, and the guitars are actually not even named after you. So it's an interesting story of how you two became the owners and proprietors of Seüf Guitars. So I think we should start there. Tell us about it's back in the aughts in Kansas City, and we want to hear the story of how you guys what Seüf Guitars was before you, and then how you guys came to own it.
Oh shit. Well, let's see. It was around I came on to the team in 2010 or 2011 or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Dave Seiferling had just been he'd been building guitars out of his basement, like 30 minutes north of here in out of North Kansas City somewhere. And he finally, like, his wife was like, get the fuck out of the basement. Like, so he opened a shop. He was training my buddy Chris at the time. That was one of his apprentices. So he had a day job working as a coatings chemist for Fujifilm. So he opened a shop in Independence. My buddy Chris was running it 5 days a week. He was only in on Saturdays. and started getting busier and busier. So eventually he was like, hey man, you want to come out and start like wet sanding bodies or something like that? I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I want to be around
Yeah,
guitars.
man. I feel like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of invitation was that?
I want a sand finish. Yeah, that sounds great. Get my feet wet. Maybe you'll teach me how to set up a guitar one of these days. That'll be cool. Uh, and so I do that. And if you know about wet sanding paint, it's the worst. It's not fun. It's just like, you just sit there with a foam pad and sandpaper and just flatten everything out. Get it ready to be buffed. So I did that for about a year, and then my buddy Chris was like, "Well, I'm moving to Seattle." It's like, very cool. That leaves me. So I had to learn how to like run a repair shop, learn how to do all these repairs that I had no idea how to do, and then on top of that, Dave like was teaching me how to build at the exact same time. So it was like a year of this intense, like crazy, like super fast-paced learning curve that I had to do because I didn't go to Lutheran school. Like, I feel like, and I'm not knocking anybody who does, but you go there for 4 or 5, 6 months or a year or whatever, and you get to do one thing once or twice, and then you're done. Then they send you out on your own. So luckily I got to learn by rote, and I was just doing the same thing over and over again. And then it's like, okay, this pretty decent at this. I have my bearings. I'll move on to the next thing. Do this, do this, and learning how to run a shop, a repair shop, and do all this other like guitar building stuff at the same time. So that lasted for about 2 or 3 years, and then Sean moved to Kansas City. So I was like, all right, you're gonna start learning how to wet sand.
So I did watch that. I watched that. There's like a mini documentary on you guys on YouTube that is really well done, and I recommend anyone watching this to, like, when you get done, go watch it.
Just log off now. Just log off now.
PBS.
Yeah, because they probably paid a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
You should see the B-roll footage for that, because like every question they asked us, we found a way to bring up Ozzy Osbourne. Showing people all of our answers. Like, what inspired you? Ozzy and Weiland, dude. What are you?
You're like, yeah. So this is wet sanding, or as we call it, bark at the moon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then we pass the guitar once it's done at this station. It takes the crazy train down to the next one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's got, and then someone buys it, but no more tears.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
No more tears. All your problems are fixed now. This is a great guitar for you.
Yeah. You want to actually for a long time, our years and years, like over a decade, we just finally changed it, but my wife, my router, my wireless router was, the network was called Geezer Butler, and it was funny because my wife never had any clue what that was. She just thought it was, whatever. And you can tell.
He's the old man Butler. He's like the guy from what's the fucking Will Smith show? G, Fresh Prince.
Yeah. So then fast forward a number of years, a serious number of years, and we go to see Sabbath at one of the reunion shows, and we're sitting there, and somebody points out, they're like, "Man, Geezer Butler is on tonight," and and Mindy was like, "Oh." That's the guy. That's our wireless router guy. Like, yeah.
He does our internet.
But there's one part of that documentary that I thought was really great, where and I just wanted some clarification on it. Sean, you said you came back from Columbia. Now, was that Columbia, or like were you at like Columbia
Missouri.
University?
I was Columbia, Missouri. I was at Mizzou.
Okay.
Actually, I had graduated a couple years before I moved back, and I was just drinking
Yeah.
for a couple years. And so I finally got sick of that and moved to Kansas City, and
You started wet sanding.
Yeah.
really, I just smelled it out. I was like, oh man, I feel like Mark's got this cool job working on guitars. I want to help. It's like, all right, bro, come in and wet sand. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Cool, thanks.
Cut to like 3 days later. I was like, wet sanding sucks. Yeah, and then what I did today, wet sand. You know what I'm doing tomorrow? Wet sand tomorrow.
Yeah.
Still doing.
This is great. We know this guy from Instagram, and he is. I think he just got his OH20, and he's pretty thrilled because Ryan wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, and you don't.
I don't. I never do.
I don't even know your kid's name.
No, it's Scythe.
It's like,
You didn't even name it after them.
Yeah. My kid's name is OH20. Come on, little OH20.
Yeah.
Come on, T-style.
So you guys, what ends up happening is Sean comes back from being a drug kingpin in Columbia. Missouri.
Right.
And
I've seen Ozark.
and then
Like that. Right up the road.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, I'm guessing Dave Seiferling decides to peace out, huh?
Yeah, he came in one day and he was like, all right, guys, I'm peacing out. You guys are good. Here's the business.
Here's the tool.
I got you a job. And
And then was it like
here's the business. Do what you will.
Wow.
was it like a Jedi style fade out, or did like
Yeah, he took a couple months to fade out.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't just like peace out that day. No, he did everything. He did everything the right way that he should have. But like he was at this point between the two places, he was working 75, 80 hours a week.
Mhm.
His daughter was like in 9th grade, and he just realized the last time that he saw her, she was like 4. So,
She was named OH19.
Yeah.
Little OH19. I haven't talked to her since she
She's
was 4.
almost 19. Yeah.
What? And so you guys have been on your own for a couple years now, right?
it's been about 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, 2016. Yeah, shit. It's 5 years.
One of the great things that I get the experience of is like talking about your guitars a lot is I do get a lot of folks from Kansas City who will send me messages on Instagram and will be like, there's nobody else in the world who I would take my guitar to. These guys, I got some, I got a custom shop guitar that just wasn't working for me. I brought them to those guys. They took care of it. It's not the best guitar I own and stuff like that. So you guys seem to be pretty well respected in the repair business there too. And I just know because we're friends, I know that you guys are really busy with repairs as well.
Mm-hmm. Slammed, yeah. We've got about a month-long backlog right now for little things. Like for bigger jobs, like God knows when we're gonna get it finished. And like I get down in the dumps about it. I like start thinking about it, and then I talk to I'm fortunate enough to know like some really heavy hitters in the repair and restoration world, and I'm like, guys, I don't know, they're like, man, don't worry about it. I've been sitting on this guy's guitar for 3 years.
Oh my god.
It's like, oh, okay. Well, that puts everything into perspective. So yeah, we're busy and we're doing well. Managing expectations is really hard to do. You want to, put the best foot forward, going in, especially if it's someone you don't know or something like that. But, it really ends up, it's worth the time that it takes. Usually we don't pea foot around on things like on restoration jobs or anything like that. We do the job right. It takes some time. We get it done.
I've never heard anyone say pea foot.
No, I haven't either. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is worth it just for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna find a way to slide that in.
That's why I took
everywhere
my
I
socks
can.
off, is because I had pea foot.
I got the I pre-ordered the new HM2 today because my old one didn't pea foot around, but I was running with a bolt instead of 12. So
Oh man. So
Do you need a minute? Is that?
Yeah, I might. Do you have a thing?
I mean, the thing that struck me with you guys is that you went from being having no experience in guitar manufacturing or repair to being excellent wet sanders to being full service shop and apparently like the best in town, maybe among the best in the state. Like Ryan said, I pick up the OH. No, which one's
20.
the 20?
20.
I'm trying to not, infringe
The
on
American-
any, I'm trying to not infringe on any copyrights here.
the Barry K.
Yeah. And I'm blown away by the the mastery that you guys have over this craft in such a short amount of time. And the amount of care that you put into it.
Well, I remember.
really staggering.
I remember talking to Mark
Yeah.
about the pickups because Scythe winds their own
Right.
pickups, and he was like, yeah, I went to a seminar.
Yeah. So, yeah. First of all, I hate you for that. You're like, yeah, people go to Luthier school for 6 months and they try something once or twice, but it sounds like you did the same thing at a pickup seminar and yours are dynamite. So, I'm curious about like how did that love for this craft develop for you guys, or what was the transition between like this is just a job that I'm doing to hide from the other drug kingpins and all of that, to like this is our passion, this is our craft, this is what we do. I'm curious about that mental journey for you.
We didn't have a choice. We had to do it quick, especially after Dave left. We were fine.
Yeah.
By the time Dave got out of it, Dave was a really good mentor. That's one really good thing about him. But he also showed us a lot of dirty tricks that we had to unlearn, especially as it pertains to repair, which is great because now I know all these old man tricks.
Did you guys didn't do like the baking soda and
Super
glue
glue nut fill?
in the nut?
For years.
Oh.
We used bone dust, and then we got another trick.
Oh.
We learned another trick like a year and a half ago that I won't tell anybody unless you take my setup class and you inevitably fuck your nut up when you're trying to file it out. And you go, well, I'll teach you the other dirty trick. Best thing to do is to replace the nut.
Yeah.
Just replace the nut. We also, like, I don't know, that procedure is still evolving.
Yeah.
Like we're on a new tip now. Yeah, it's top secret. But
I remember the first time I had a nut replaced on a guitar. It was one of those things that I thought was going to be super duper duper expensive, and so I always kind of shied away from the idea. And it was like, it was not. Yeah, it was like, yeah, that'll be $50. Like, oh,
Great.
okay. It's kind of, yeah, that's one of those things that I was always like, oh, and so now like with our current guy Wyatt, who loves you guys, he I'll bring guitars into him and be like, I don't know, this nut slot's a little bit low, maybe we should just replace it.
Yep.
He's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, let's throw a new one in.
Yeah.
let's just go to the bone zone, my man.
yeah. He's like, but it's already bone. We did that last time, and I'll be like,
It's low.
I need a new one.
Let's rebone.
I need it.
Let's
Let's bone again.
I'm not pea-footing around.
Nope, I want a bone.
Blake Burkholder made it. Do you guys know Blake Burkholder?
Oh,
Yeah,
love Blake. He was maybe he currently is after COVID. I don't know. Dan Earlywine's apprentice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, awesome. We're actually making an S style OH19 for Blake right now.
Okay. An S style.
We can say that.
GILMOUR style also at the same token.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be SICK sick.
Yeah, so yeah, you know, I was talking to Dustin a little bit, and he brought up that
I did say there was going to be an airing of grievances portion.
yeah,
And
so
here we are.
Dustin pointed out that he's trying to get you guys to make a super strat for him, and with a Floyd Rose, and I want to read it exactly because he basically wants you to make him the Rage Against the Machine guitar, and you guys have said no.
I said it'll be a cold day in hell, Dustin, before I ever. I would arm the homeless before I did that.
Tell him to come wet sand for you for like 6 months to a year, and you'll think about it.
He would do it. He's not free, and let's do this. It'll be fun.
I gotta work 5 extra hours tonight. It'd be awesome to do it. I don't have the time for design tweaks and shit like that right now. And there are plenty of other people that are doing it just as well, if not better than we could do it. Lot of old head shredders out there that are chomping at the bit to put a Floyd on something, and it's just not me right now. Sorry, Dustin, I love you to death.
Yeah, well,
just give
that's
it
my
like 2 years.
grievances aired. I love you. Give me 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could make the argument that Dustin has enough custom Seüf guitars.
Yeah, he's
at this point.
the collector. He's the he owns all of them. Last time I checked, he owns all of them. Actually, one.
Even Ryan's. Ryan's are just on loan.
All of them in existence by now.
Yeah.
We did. I think we finished up like 30 last year. Dustin owns 29 of them.
Chris Thomas has something pretty important here.
Yeah.
He would like you to bring some Millers home with you.
Not gonna happen, my man. Having too good a time.
So one of the things that I have one of the things that I enjoy about these guys, and we text more than, I mean, like we get to the point where we text and they just stop replying. Like it, you know, like
your demo's in the dark, man. You're doing it in the dark. It's like in the morning. I go to bed at 11 if I can.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'll get a text from Ryan, and he's like, "Hey, man." I'll get a, "Hey, are you by your computer?" And I'm like, "It's 1 a.m., dude. I am asleep."
So I just put up a video today comparing different transistors on these Spruce Effects treble boosters, these amp top treble boosters, and it was a blindfold test, so I didn't know what the transistors were.
We got a bunch of nerds watching, don't we?
Yeah. So it was this shootout, right? But so what I did was I thought it would be, and it was pretty early, and like LA is 2 hours behind us.
I thought 3.
I thought I would call him for the reveal. And so I put him on speakerphone, and it's great. It's the best part of the entire video. Is I'm like, "Hey, Brian, got your I've decided which one I like the best and which one I like the least." And he goes, "Do we have to do this right now?" And I went,
He's like, "What time is it?"
"Yeah." And I went, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "I was asleep."
Which one did you like the best?
The one I liked the best was so it was funny because there was an OC44, like a black glass OC44 in there, and I was like, I'm sure I'm gonna pick this one, but it was a Toshiba. The OC44 was actually my my second favorite.
Which one had the best lightning resistors?
What?
Sorry, that was a 311 joke. I thought you guys. No,
No, I know it. Oh man,
come on.
man. This brings me around to what I was saying. So there have been very few things that I have been able to throw at these guys, like musically, that they haven't been able to respond immediately to, usually in a very positive way. But the moment I knew when I liked these guys was when I went on a rant about how Lionel Richie was an incredible songwriter, and everybody, is always like, oh yeah, like in the 80s, like, like
Hello.
yeah, it's we got bad. And yeah, and like Mark or Chandra, one of the two was like, that's when he got good. And I'm like, yes! Yes! And then the best thing about that is like 5 minutes later, we were talking about Queensryche. Or
Yeah.
we were talking about who Ozzy's best guitar player was, or the best Van Halen record.
Mm-hmm.
So we always kind of end up flipping between, like, there's been nothing that I've been able to throw at the two of these guys that like they either don't like totally agree with me on, or don't know about. All right.
So how do you guys feel about the fact that Ryan is just coming around to the fact that James Jamerson is the best bass player of all time?
I mean, you're kind of late. I mean, is James Jamerson Larry Grant? Like,
So
Yeah. Well, okay,
Oh,
so
no.
I should tell you, the text he sent me was you might want to leave the room for this. The text he sent me was like, I think James Jamerson has finally beat out Jocko in my book.
Jocko. I gotta listen to Claypool.
wait. I mean, Jocko and Claypool are not in the same.
I know. I don't really like Claypool either, but
I just like his walk.
Oh my god! If I had room to, yeah.
Yes.
He's like, I can't fucking look at you anymore.
No. I think he was doing the
I was doing the Claypool.
walk.
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, I bought a wireless the day after I saw them. I was like, I'm doing this all wrong. I gotta be free.
The part of Primus Live is that they have dudes dressed as Grim Reapers bringing them out guitars.
Yes.
So awesome.
Mason Patton says Jocko, but he can't play with anyone.
Which is
Not true.
which is exactly correct and fundamentally anti-good bass playing is not playing with anyone else.
I mean, Joni Mitchell, he did a great job with Joni Mitchell.
Well, yeah. He was,
Yeah. There was this band called Weather Report that he was in.
That's it. Weather Report.
Yeah.
They were
Weather Report's great.
But that was just them being like, hey, here's Jocko.
not true.
Yeah.
No, because there was lots of
Weather
friction.
Report. I listen more to the horns and Weather Report than I did anything else.
To Wayne Shorter.
Who the hell is Wayne? Is that one of the dudes in Weather?
That's Wayne, yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm a casual Jack.
Are you thinking of Tower of Power?
What the hell?
What?
All right, I'm on the spot. I've never listened to Tower of Power.
Squib Cakes. What is hip?
Yeah.
Tower
Oh,
of Power?
yeah. Just go. What is hip, and then the rest will reveal itself.
The
to you.
Oakland Stroke. David Garibaldi on the drums.
Yep.
Is it sad that the only guy that I know of in Tower of Power is their ex-drummer?
That's okay.
I mean, the other guys had more prominent
What was their
roles.
bass player's
Yeah,
name?
I know from
He just
Metallica.
died.
Rocco Prestia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you like Wayne Shorter, he's on all the Herbie Hancock shit too. So
Oh,
you gotta go there.
And Wayne Shorter is a really great gateway drug to Mr. Kenny G.
That's
My
true.
man.
That's true. And then it's just Chuck Mangione after that, and then
Yes.
Feels so good to hear you
Yes.
say that, brother.
I was introduced to Chuck Mangione by that King of the Hill episode where it just ends
he's
with
on,
him.
He's on.
I know, but there's one that just ends with him playing on top of a Walmart, like the whole credits roll, and I'm like 6 watching this, and it's just an animated Chuck Mangione on the roof of a Walmart while the whole credits scroll, and he's just giving it to you. I was like, who is this angel man?
I was given back in my tape trading days. I was traded a Chuck Mangione bootleg, and and this is no joke. Chuck Mangione started and ended the show with "Feels So Good."
Give them
Awesome.
what they want. Give them
Cool.
what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it all you got.
Started.
Give it all
Give
you
it
got.
all. That's a really good one too. Oh man, we ordered a bunch of Chuck Mangione merch a couple years ago, and
We're proud.
it came. I'm pretty sure the return address was his house, like
Yeah.
like somewhere up in crab country where they're just listening to dudes on rooftops, like with an ocean breeze, just like blowing saxophones all night while people are eating crabs. Flugelhorn, saxophone.
He goes down to that seaside food truck and plays 6 to 9 on Tuesdays. Yeah, he's doing it.
Chuck,
If the cancer doesn't need him alive, he'll do it till he's dead.
That's
my
right.
gosh. Oh, that. I didn't even know that Chuck Mangione had merch. That is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, how else does a musician make money in this day and
Well,
age?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the model. I mean,
Yeah.
like we learned. Chuck Mangione also learned that from Taylor Swift.
Right.
That like if you want to
Yeah.
make money in the music industry, you gotta sell merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can teach an old flugelhorn player new tricks. I
I
guess.
I guess.
So this is a question that I like to ask. What were you guys listening to in the shop today?
Stuck on You radio on Spotify.
Yeah, Lionel Richie Radio.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So we had a bunch of Jeffrey Osborne, Billy Ocean. God, what else was on there? There was one that I can't even remember. But yeah, a lot of we listened to a lot of like late '70s, early '80s R&B. Like a lot.
We have that in common, and that's really good. And 80s metal. Is
80s
also-
metal. I drove to work listening to Winger this morning.
Oh. Oh wow. Which Winger record?
I just listened to the song.
How long is your commute?
Still the night on repeat.
That's Whitesnake.
Oh, that's not Whitesnake, is it?
That's Whitesnake, dude.
Oh, that is Whitesnake. I'm
Yeah,
so
that is.
sorry.
Oh my gosh.
So
David-
sorry.
David Coverdale is
So
David.
were you listening to Whitesnake or were you listening to Winger? This is a hard-hitting podcast, folks.
There are
Carrie, I was
so-
listening to
there are two different edits of In the Heat of the Night, by the way. And
Why do you know that?
I don't
because
know
there's
why.
a video.
There are two different edits of it, and the one of them is really really good, and one of them, but the one that is most commonly heard is not as good. There's two edits of what was their other big one off that record?
Here I go again.
Yeah, there are two different guitar solos to that song.
Oh,
There's like
there's
Ooh.
four versions of Here I Go Again. The one that we get at the shop for whatever fucking
Spotify
reason.
thinks I love it.
Hobo, I was born to walk alone. Like, did you just say hobo, dude?
You said hobo.
Yeah,
Rifter,
that's the
bro.
version I know.
That's
Yes.
fucked up.
That guy was in Deep Purple.
Wonderful.
What?
I just like the best part about that particular alternate lyric is you get to picture them in the writer's room like a hobo I was born, like a drifter, we'll figure it out in the booth, okay?
Yeah.
Let me let me figure that out.
Let's record both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
There's something about the vowels of hobo and born.
Yeah, David Coverdale was in Deep Purple briefly. Or was it Rainbow? One of the two. No, it was Deep Purple.
Some color themed band.
It was Deep Purple. Like so, and this is straight from the Ritchie Blackmore documentary on YouTube, which
Again, if you haven't seen it, just log off from this, watch it now.
It's a great
Yeah.
Dude.
Thanks.
It's a great documentary because you know by watching it that Ritchie paid for it. What's interesting about it is they ask him, they do end up asking him a lot of questions about, you know, kind of the controversial things that Ritchie Blackmore is known for doing. And he would just say, yeah, I did that. It was the right thing to do. And, you know, like, and then at the end of it, you're like, yeah, you should have fired him for his haircut. You know, that's absolutely the right, it's the right thing to have done, Ritchie Blackmore. But he talked about how they when they pulled David Coverdale in, they had just got rid of Ian and Gilliam, and he was concerned that that David Coverdale was not as pretty as Ian Gilliam. And I was like,
No
David
one
Coverdale.
is. Check it out. Sabbath singers ranked. David first. Ozzy second. Dio third.
Yeah. What? You're putting Dio third?
As far as good-looking singers
Oh,
of
yeah.
Black Sabbath are concerned, hell
Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Ian Gillan is the best. And I did watch the Ian Gillan documentary the other night, The Making of Born Again, but I have not watched the Blackmore documentary yet.
You should watch it. It's great because you'll feel Ritchie on that.
You'll
It'll be
come
like,
around.
Yeah, I stabbed that guy. Of course I
Yeah,
stabbed
you
that guy.
would
in
have
his
too.
sleep.
And
Of course
yes,
I
I would
to
have.
do it.
So, Kai,
Yes.
what did you listen to today?
Oh boy, guys, wow. So I'm a session player, hired gun fella up here, and I'm sure where you are is a lot of the same to some degree, but how you make money is by playing country, and I don't get a lot of time to listen to stuff other than what I'm learning, so I listen to, I won't say their name, but I am subbing in maybe like the most, like if you just had like 20 more Millers and then tried to write a pop country album, you would just get this guy. You're like, what do we got? We got beers, we got trucks, we got guns, we got dogs,
America?
we got Daisy Dukes. What did you say?
You got America?
I
think you just spelled him.
Yeah, I think I just.
Is the
Sorry,
theme.
I was naming all of the things that the stripes on the flag stand for. Yeah,
Bingo.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's that is what I listened to today. But I did listen to. I'm on a big snarky puppy kick right now. There's this great. Zildjian's doing a thing called Zildjian Live where they just bring in.
Yeah.
Insanely good drummers, and they put them in with the Ghost Note band, and then they're like, just make a song together, and then they do, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's those are always impressive. I'm always impressed by that, where it's like, you know, like you get a guy like Mark Juliana in there,
Yeah.
and you know, like Luke Bryan, 100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like how
Yeah. This guy has two first names as well. By the way, someone just said it's Luke Bryan. It's not, but he does have two first names because you have.
Brian Luke.
It is Brian. It's Brian
Brian
Lucas.
Lucas.
Brian Lucas is his real name, but he goes by Brian Luke. Just, which I think is relatively ungoogleable because if you're never gonna beat out Luke Bryan on the Google. But I'm sorry, you were talking about Mark Juliana, and then I started talking about Luke Bryan.
This is what happens.
Yeah, but yeah, you get to see like they have footage on these live things. They're like, should we do another take? Did we get it? They're like, I don't know, I missed a couple things, and then it's all just fucking perfect. It's really upsetting, but it's quite good. The band is great.
Cool.
Yeah, and my brain, just because I learn songs now by listening, and I have no idea what jazz is, that's the only thing that I can listen to that turns my brain off right now. So that's what I'm going for.
I listened to old Melvin's records today. It was a good day.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there some stuff like it wasn't he like wasn't what's his face like a trumper or something?
Melvin?
No, his name is.
Buzzo?
Buzzo.
No, he's just a weird. Like he's got money now and he's a libertarian.
Yeah.
Like-
Okay.
He didn't say anything like super fucked up, but it was kind of fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what are you gonna do? Like he's got
Yeah.
money now and he's a libertarian.
Yeah, you
That's-
can't. You
that-
can't
they
teach
do that
people.
sometimes.
That's always what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you had to be a dentist to become a libertarian.
Or Buzzo. Or poor.
The guy-
Or like really poor, but like kind of book smart. Like you kind of like to read, but you kind of like miss the subtext.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, libertarians. I didn't mean it.
Didn't mean to step on you. Didn't mean to step on you.
I won't judge anybody for their political beliefs. Like
Right. Everybody
we're all
wants
here
the
for the
same
same
thing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants the same thing.
They did.
And we finished
They
with
spoke.
sentences
again.
Oh,
Oh
my God.
shit!
I listened to the new Julian Lage record today.
Ooh.
That- I've never heard that.
You never heard of
Julian Lage? Oh, you're gonna have fun.
Julian Lage should have a.
He should have a site.
He should have a.
He's playing a nacho, but
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, a
That's
nacho.
God damn it!
Um.
It's covered in cheese.
So-
so hard to play.
So. And our friend Dave King is on it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As was the last record, Love Hurts.
Yeah. Which they covered "Love Hurts," by the way, and it was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
That's
don't
how I
know
said "Grass to Float." By the way, is the Love Hurts solo.
What's
I just hit the G string and I go, and if it does that,
Ship it
then
out.
it'll float.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Part of it is that Julian Lage can be very cerebral. He's a very cerebral
Mhm.
player.
He was giving jazz clinics at Stanford when he was like 14.
Yeah.
And all that sort of thing.
Just absolutely sickening.
Really upsetting guitar player.
He's the kind of guitar player where you're like, what the fuck?
Just take my shit.
Yeah, like why do I even bother?
Yeah.
But so for years he had Kenny Wollesen playing drums for him. Kenny Wollesen also plays with Bill Frisell.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
And I love Kenny Wollesen. He's a great drummer, and I think he pulls. And I've seen him with Frisell and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think what he does is he ends up kind of
Yeah.
pushing them in different directions than maybe they would have gone. And with Lodge, you have that as well, where he what was a very technical, cerebral experience of his playing. I feel like Kenny could bring it to be a very emotional one,
Mm-hmm.
where you stop paying.
Arclight is a great record to start
Yeah.
on if you don't know
I-
Julian Lage. Yeah.
I feel like with Kenny, you could forget the fact that what you were listening to was just unbelievably complex.
Yeah.
And so, but then you get someone like Dave King, who is also very technical.
Mhm.
And like if you listen to a band like the Bad Plus to me is one of my favorite groups, but it is a brain exercise.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not, you're not gonna sit down and smoke a joint and listen to Bad Plus.
Mhm. You're gonna take notes.
You're gonna snort
You're
a whole
gonna
bunch
have
of
a
cocaine and listen to
calculator.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when you get Dave and Julian together, I feel like some of that emotional aspect kind of gets lost, and then you just have two just mathematicians banging
Mhm.
out calculators.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that. I could be wrong. I could come around to it. I didn't come around to Love Hurts, but I could come around to it.
I believe in you. I still haven't either, but I believe in you.
Yeah, and other than that, still a pretty steady flow of D'Angelo,
Yes.
and pretty steady flow of Lauryn Hill. I'm still on that kick.
Good.
You guys ever?
Yeah.
You guys?
Miseducation?
What's that?
Miseducation album?
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking A, dude.
there's only one record.
Keep the fucking fire, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week? I want to do a record. I need to find Mike Judge's phone number. I'm tying it back to a previous conversation too, because I want to do a record with Mike Judge. That's those songs, but it's the Miseducation of Hank Hill, and it's just him doing the vocals on all of it. I think that'd be great.
All right, so we are running low on time.
We are.
I do want to offer up to anyone who happens to be on right now, if you guys have any questions related to Lutherie or anything like that, we do want to carve out some time for you to ask those questions. One of my favorite experiences was I was having some weird issues with the pickups in my guitar, and I hit up Mark, and he was like, it felt like I was being sent to like the 15th green at 4 a.m. kind of thing, where he was like, go to your laundry room and get a dryer sheet.
Oh,
and rub the
You
dryer
had some
sheet.
static buildup?
Yeah, rub the dryer sheet all over you. And, like, I did it, and I was like, as I was doing it, and then,
and film yourself and send it to me.
Yeah. So, if anyone watching this has any guitar-related questions, whether it's be your guitar or questions about Lutherie in general, we're going to leave a little time there to answer those questions. But I do want to get to something kind of important to me, at least. So you guys have made me. We're working on 3 guitars now, and and they're guitars that I absolutely cherish, and guitars that I don't deserve to be playing.
I agree. You should give them to me.
And oh damn it! And if I don't deserve them. And I don't have a skill, as far as I don't make anything. But one thing I do know, Mark, is that you have had your, you've had your eye on my very peculiar, Charvel Surfcaster, and it's a guitar that I don't play as much as I would like to, and it's a guitar that probably needs some expert touch to it. So tomorrow, Mark and John, I will be shipping out this. I've never seen another one like it.
Me
this
neither.
This Charvel Surfcaster to you guys, and you can just keep it
Or sell it.
Fix it up.
What the F, dude?
So
Oh my god, really?
yeah. So tomorrow.
Lipsticks? Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, I'm giving you. I'm giving you work.
Just rub a dryer
Like,
sheet on
yeah,
it. It'll be
somebody-
fine.
somebody-
I don't care
somebody
about that. That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
Somebody may need to wet sand this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, again, it's a guitar that I don't play because I play your guitars mostly, and it's one that I think you should have a fucking Surfcaster, dude. So
Oh my
we're
god!
gonna make
Thank
that
you
happen.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We don't pee-foot around on this.
Valentine thing. That's why, because Belinda Busher, there's like pictures of her in like the
Yeah.
like 1990 playing a Charvel Surfcaster with like a Floyd or something. I don't know, but like I've always wanted one ever since I saw that. Holy shit! Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, absolutely. All right, so we actually do have some questions in. Let's take a look at them now.
Let's do it.
Do
All
these pop up on their screen?
I don't know.
No, they don't. No.
All right,
You have to
so
do it up
do you-
perfectly. Perfect syntax.
if I do this, do you see it? What
Nope.
is an experience that you had while fixing a guitar that you really had to work through? How about that one that stank like, I believe, human piss, you said?
Oh, yeah.
It had a little pee foot.
Which one?
Human pea. Oh, that was that fake Steve Vai thing.
Which
That-
one?
The one from I can't say his name, but the one who asked me why I had Sadie tattooed on my
Oh,
on my
fuck.
knuckles. Oh, okay. Like, Sadie, man, that's a beautiful name. I was like, yeah, that's my girlfriend's name. I just have Sade tattooed on my
Yeah,
knuckles.
I mean,
Why wouldn't you?
hold on.
I just had to work the stink on that one, but it was during quarantine, so I had a mask on, so it was fine.
But just to clarify, real quick before we move on, are you a Sade fan?
I am a Sade fan.
Big time.
Oh yes,
Ryan
God.
and I,
Yeah, of course.
Ryan and I actually have it tattooed across our butt cheek.
Yeah, I have the S and the A,
Yeah.
and he has the D and the
Yeah,
E.
at least I think I do. I've never actually been able to look.
Sorry to interject there, but yeah, super tough repair that comes to mind. Besides
P.
that one just sounds like it was unpleasant.
That one was unpleasant. Super tough repairs that come to mind. About 2 years ago, and this wasn't super tough, it's just super annoying. You got to be in the right mind frame when you're doing repairs. So this one was super annoying. I was replacing the nut on on this weird Japanese Gretsch that I'd never seen anything like it before. I've never seen one before. I've never seen one since. I can't Google it. And I was
I don't have Googling kids.
I was cleaning out. I had knocked the old nut
It's
out.
called Luke Bryan.
Sorry.
It's a Luke Bryan. I did a Luke Bryan, and it was straightforward. But I was cleaning the glue or whatever that they use to glue the old nut in, because like they just crank those things in there with like epoxy or super glue or whatever. So it's always a pain in the ass to get those fixed. And I was chiseling like a chunk of glue out, and I knocked the piece of glue out, but it took the binding down the side of the neck with like that, like 3 inches of binding.
And your heart just sank into your shoes.
Brand new guitar, brand new. And it took me, I don't know, like 3 hours to try to hide what I was doing, and I had to like color match, and I had to like paint on like this aging and shit like that. It's stuff like that that keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. So I would say that was the last time that I can think of off the top of my head where I was like really challenged to do something, crazy.
Yeah. Mason Patton has a really great question here, and this is one that I've wondered about as well, because I've always kind of thought of it as a snake oil kind of thing. But the question is, does neck plate material matter, steel or brass, and thickness?
For a neck plate,
Yep.
as long as it's like just thick enough to not warp when you bolt your neck down, that's good. Any other factors don't fucking matter. Like, not at all. Not at all. As long as it doesn't warp when you bolt your neck in, and don't screw your necks in too tight. That's a bad move.
I gotta go home and loosen some neck.
It's just tight enough.
But like, I hear a lot about how thicker stainless steel neck plates are really good for tone, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No. They're really good at being thick. They're really good at being steel.
Yeah.
But the thing that matters the most is that your neck, the neck pocket is drilled out so that the screws don't catch inside the neck, and and mess with the way that the neck is actually bolted on there. As long as your neck is bolted on solid, it doesn't fucking matter whether you're using brass or steel or any of this other stuff. The neck making contact with the neck pocket is what matters.
All right.
The neck to neck is the most important thing on a bolt-on guitar.
Yep.
Like,
that being said, order your custom extra thick neck plates from seufguitars.com. $100. Yeah.
All right, next question, and I love this one because I can't wait to hear the answer. What is the weirdest thing you found inside of a guitar?
oh man,
Rattlesnake tails.
rattlesnake tails. That's like
That's
a thing.
common though.
That's
That's not even weird. I like that. That's just a thing that people put in there.
That's kind
People
of
put
sick.
rattlesnake tails in their
Yeah.
guitars?
Yeah, people,
the bluegrass thing.
yeah, bluegrass dudes do that.
They started just doing the whole snake, and that wasn't as good.
Yeah,
That's a bad move.
then
Yeah.
somebody put an overhead in there, man.
Yeah, that's a rookie mistake, man. That's how you know he's green.
All
Start
right,
playing cop on the road.
so
Farmed
Farmed
man.
So this is a good question, and I think it is probably helpful to note that you two guys kind of delegate different parts of the process in a build. But the question from Mr. Zed here is Mr. Z. What's the hardest part to do well? Is it the finish? He was kind of.
Is it the wet sanding?
Is it the wet sanding? Is the wet sanding?
West Ending's second nature, dude.
Yeah.
My soul is made
That's
of wet
in your
sand.
heart. I bleed wet sand, man.
The hardest part to do well, especially because we do the relic thing, is to make something look appropriate.
Yeah.
You can get yourself into a hole real quickly if you're trying to if you're just like knocking stuff around or like dragging it on the floor, whatever a lot of people do to do this relic thing. Luckily, we do enough repairs and restorations on vintage instruments that we've seen what actual old instruments look like. So the hardest thing to do well is actually try to get to that without going overboard or make something look like as far as I'm concerned, the whole relic thing, like it's its own thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be because
Gibson's freaking doing
guitars
it.
have a look. 95% of vintage guitars all have the same look. So getting in the ballpark of the same look is really, really hard. Whereas relicing a guitar, dragging it,
Just saying the shit out of
Sanding
it.
the
Like,
shit out
that's
of it.
easy.
that's easy. Making it look like an actual vintage instrument is really difficult.
Yeah. So, and that is every time I show, anytime anyone gets to see one of your guitars in person here, usually their jaws just hit the floor. And there's another question here that you kind of touched on there, and the question was, what do most relicers do wrong that you do right? And it sounds like you don't light your guitars on fire, and then
I don't like my shit on fire.
yeah,
It's that simple. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't feel like we can answer that question without talking shit. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, we were
Shit. No,
Nah,
you don't.
I'm
I don't actually want you to.
I do want to. I put this up earlier, but I want to put it up one more time. My friend Charles over at Silk Tone left a comment, and he said, I think I've based all of my guitar choices off of Belinda Butcher. So
True.
yeah.
True.
Charles, we're gonna have Charles on this show sometime, and it's gonna be a long one when we have Charles on here. Charles will do the thing where we'll call each other, and we'll be like, okay, this is gonna be short, and then it'll be 5 hours later, and Charles and I are still talking about who knows what. So I don't think we have any other questions. I do want to throw up one more.
Yeah, we should throw this one up. I'd like to read this one if that's
throw
okay.
one more, just a general comment that I think really kind of hits what
really
we're
ties
doing here.
this really ties this all together.
Yeah, I think it does.
And we should stop p-footing around and just get to the thesis.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the comment, and I appreciate it. It's an astute observation. It says that Ryan is both attractive and kind.
Yes. I don't know
agree.
who the other Ryan is that he's referring to.
That Ryan.
That Ryan implies the existence of that Ryan, but I do believe they're talking about you.
All right, gentlemen, is there anything that you wanna plug? Anything that you wanna put out into the world before you go? I think. Let's do that. Let's do that first.
Great.
Any like you wanna talk to a parent?
I'm a medium. If there's someone else
Medium?
that you'd like to.
God, I've got nothing. Support local Kansas City stuff. There's a lot of people doing good shit around here. There's JHS pedals, Chris Swope Guitars,
Yeah.
Danny Corwin out in Topeka, Kansas, which is just down the road. Mass Street Music for guitar repair for bluegrass dudes.
Yep.
And
JHS.
JHS, obviously. Josh is the best. He's
do you want to say anything, Josh?
Josh. Josh.
He's doing his own live show back there.
Yeah.
That's where everybody is.
Yeah.
Patrick at Jayco straps is great. They're suede. If you have a neck heavy SG or something like that, get a Jayco. It'll solve your problems. Mike Adams, Pusheen on the internet, taught me more than I care to admit about Jazz Masters and Jaguars. And
That's the guy.
He knows. He knows about that stuff for sure.
Oh, I want to go toe to toe with him in the ring, though.
We can make that happen. Mike and Mike's in my. I have a Discord thing, and he's in there, so we could.
Yeah,
and you guys are too, so you could go in there and fight him.
I'll fight him any day of the week.
And like all three of you guys, it would just be like fucking red hair going everywhere. Great. That's great. And you know what? If anyone is interested in picking up a Seüf guitar, as they should be, what's the easiest way to do that?
Email us at seufguitars@gmail.com. We're about to get a price quote generator thing on our website where, things take forever. I'm dumb at the internet, so we're working on that right now, and just really want the support.
Yeah. Excellent. And just out of curiosity, because this is a question that people ask me a lot, you order a custom guitar, there's going to be some lead time on that. What are you guys looking at right now?
7 to 10 months.
Worth the wait.
Yes.
And then I was gonna come down and see you guys in June. It's June right now. That's not gonna happen. But I think I'm gonna swing on down there in August and
cool.
Come by the shop and do some filming and do some more talking and that'll be good. Guys, I always appreciate your time and I appreciate everything that you've done for me at Demos in the Dark and just being on here and being as freaking talented as you are and making some of the best guitars on the market. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah. You've done so much for us.
Yeah.
Seriously, you made 2021 a really good year for us so far, and can't thank you enough.
Good. Well, I just think everybody should freaking have one. Is what I think and this is the truth. I did at NAMM. I tried a lot of different guitars, And I got, you know, like I said, I accidentally found this Scythe, and it was like, whoa, this is amazing.
Mhm.
And it is heads and tails above a lot of other builders out there in the same price range, and more expensive. And
You charge more. I know, you're right.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was getting at.
After I
Yeah.
get one, though. After I get one, you can charge as much as you want.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, hey, thanks again, guys. I appreciate
It's
it.
so great to meet you guys.
Yep.
This was
Nice
so
to meet you
fun.
too, guys.
All right, Kai,
Ryan,
that was a good one.
that was a good one.
We
I
went
had fun.
a little long,
Yeah.
but I think that was a good one.
I wish
and
Josh wasn't so goddamn shy. It would have been
Yeah.
great to have him on.
It's the first time that Josh Scott has not wanted to be on camera.
I know.
And
I don't know what to do about that. Do you think? I think it's me.
It could be.
Yeah.
Well, it could be either of us
That's true.
at this point.
Yeah.
This is a small couch. All right, so we're gonna keep doing this, and except we're gonna move to monthly at
Mhm.
this point. So we will be coming back next month for another Demos in the Dark live, and our guest at that point will be Mr. Brian Fallon.
Thunderous.
And Mr. Brian Fallon and I have an interesting relationship, so I fully anticipate that one going well off the rails, and that'll be good. And then the following month we will have one Mr. Christopher Benson, Christopher J. Benson,
Mm-hmm. The J's for jazz.
Jazz Benson. I have no idea if it's a J.
I don't know either.
T could be a T.
Could
He
be a
seems
T.
like a
He's a
T.
Chris T.
Chris T.
Christy Benson.
Christy Benson. And that'll be good. And we appreciate anyone here who
Yeah.
is finding us for the first time through this. If you're a fan of Scythe, as we are, feel free to hit the subscribe button wherever it is, and we will.
I'm
Somewhere.
trying to point to
It
it.
might-
I think I got it.
I think we're done.
I think so too.
All right, hey guys, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye.